Let's jump into the next run. Hope it goes a bit better. The fact that I went for that I had a lot of extinguish synergies and didn't see a single extinguish unit was a bit sad. Molten Encasement, Votivary went. So we are Remnant again, but this time paired with Hellhorned, and our enemy is gonna be Sepseraph. Consume Crown is nice. The damage gain from Consume Crown will also stay past the burnout or past death and will be available for reforming. With some damage scaling, the Harvest Rector Flicker can actually be quite decent, if he manages to slay something, that is. We can't really go for the Burnout Rector Flicker, we have no way of keeping him alive. So we would take too much damage to the first boss. Enemy units enter with armor 10 with these guys is relatively harmless. Sure, we will have trouble dealing with these guys, but they will be down to one attack when they reach our pyre, so it's not that big of a deal. Torch this guy, set up Rector Flicker and a Train Steward on the top floor, as well as a draft, which will burn out and give us a harvest trigger by the time these guys come to the top floor. That's another harvest trigger for our Rector, which is very helpful. This actually means we can get our kill one of these guys here on the middle floor. And then this we might find an no, we won't. I'm gonna torch this guy anyways, even though it's probably not doing anything for us, but another draft for another harvest trigger. Actually, let's put the draft in front, so we save the damage on Rector as well. Our Rector is growing quite well, so this should be fine. Vent will help a lot, will actually allow us to kill 3 of these guys in total. And each of our units will get a slay. So we took 3 damage so far, that's pretty good, that's not that much damage. And an easy victory! Thanks to our Rector growing quite decently. The Consume Crown was actually very useful in this combat. Whiplash, Hello Drippings and Dripfall. With Hellhorned as our second clan, I could see Dripfall being useful to overstack the floor behind Rector Flicker. And currently Whiplash, Hello Drippings are not that useful to us. Enflame, Hidden Passage, Molding Imp. Well, Hidden Passage could do the same thing. Enflame. Let's take Enflame. Wickless Baron likes to be on a big overstacked floor. If that's gonna be our strategy, and it could very well be. So let's try that. My gold is a bit limited right now. Unit upgrades on the Baron wouldn't be terrible, but I think I like spell upgrades more. We have two spells we want to cost reduce. Flame is great for double stack, and Vent wants damage upgrades. So let's look at the shop. Consume removal. That's not what I wanted, but we can still use the smaller upgrades very well. Steelwork and Railbeat are definitely not the units I was looking for when trying to get an overstacked powerful floor. Let's get a damage upgrade on Vent and cost reduce the Enflame. I'm gonna play Enflame more often than Dripfall. Actually, I'm gonna reroll and take the other two upgrades as well. Another damage upgrade for the other Vent and a cost reduction for Dripfall as well. So now our spells are much more useful than the first one. In the first combat, I mean. Non-boss enemy unit gets +4 attack. These small guys are gonna be annoying, but we do have the Vent. So if we don't get Vent early, we can set up on the top floor and catch them there. I'm also considering setting up this Molten Encasement in front, and I will do just that. Also get the other Molten Encasement out of the way. And we do have a Vent this time. I will definitely play that on the top floor. I will, I mean, I do want to get harvest triggers with Rector. I will kill two of the high attack units here, so we will be able to slay the other two with these guys, get the triggers of consumed crowns, and not take any damage. Let's set up this first wave to throw against the boss. Boss has sweep anyway, so this first wave doesn't really matter all that much. But we should be okay. Our top floor is pretty buff. Especially they have a lot of health. So that's gonna help quite a bit. Entombed explosives. Now I get all the extinguish cards somehow. I will skip. Entombed explosives wouldn't be terrible, but they're not that great. Do I want a ritual for battle? I think it's too expensive for us. We do need some damage scaling, but can't be that expensive. Branded warrior. I'm not a big fan of him, but he might serve a purpose in this deck if we manage to overstack a floor. We have very low amount of gold, so let's get the free relic. This would help with gold, but I also like the winged indulgence. The winged indulgence is actually pretty significant against bosses, especially. This is a pretty tough choice. We are not a burnout reform deck, so the Memorial Fund is not that strong. Let's go with the Winged Indulgence. Another Wickless Baron. Nope, probably not. If I want the second one, I will get the second one later with a dupe after we upgraded the first one. Rare draft pick again. What do we want here? We are mostly a harvest deck, but we also kind of overstack, so any morsel interactions would be hard to do. Harder, at least. Let's look at the logbook. What would I happily take? Unleash the Wildwood. Our units have a nice amount of health, but are not that easy to heal. Channel Song would be quite potent as well. Awoken's Rail Spike, obviously. Wildwood Tome might find a use, not that important. Cycle of Life would be amazing, as would Spreading Spores. Yeah, it's definitely Awoken. There's so many good cards here. I really want the Awoken Rail Spike, but I think Spreading Spores is actually a lot better. Because the spikes on the Rector Flicker are very good, especially with Consumed Crown. Adaptive Mutation for Rector behind tank would also be nice. Well, Rector doesn't really need a tank because he will gain back the health with the Harvest. If he survives for just a turn, so the Adaptive Mutation could work as well. But I think I'm gonna go with Spreading Spores here. The spikes on Rector Flicker with the Harvest and the Consumed Crown, they are gonna be very powerful for us. I think I do want to set up on the top floor. Top floor is capacity reduced, but does that matter to us? Not that much, to be entirely honest. So we set up Rector Flicker and the Train Steward here. And Branded Warrior can go behind the Molten Encasement on this floor. Another bomb on the top floor. That's not very nice. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. I do want to deal some damage to this Forge Disciple right now. We can do so with the Inflame. This guy already has Rage, so he's probably one of the best targets to use the Inflame on. I think I do want to block the bomb and play the Wickless Baron on this floor, even though it will take a while to get these both up to the next floor, if that's actually what we do at all. And finally, let's put a drag here as well, so we have some extra damage against these guys. And we're 1 damage short of killing the Forge Disciple on that floor. We do need to start getting kills, otherwise our unit won't scale well enough. Well, this helps. Let's get the spikes up. We can use a Botivari here on this floor. And a single vent will make sure we clear this lane. And the second vent can probably go on this floor. Kills the frontliner at the very least. Another bomb on the top floor. I do want to start ascending things. I think I will tank the bomb with the drag. Let's double tank this bomb. And then I do want to get the kill on the Forge Disciple, so I would need 23 damage, which is gonna be provided by our Branded Warrior. Wait. It's Dripfall, not... Yeah, that's not helpful. For some reason I was thinking we had hidden passage the whole time. Whoops. Okay, that changes things. That means our entire setup is gonna be reversed. Because we have descent, not ascent. That make any sense, setting this guy up on the top floor alone? He should be behind Rector Flicker and Wickler's Baron should go on the top floor. Man, I am so confused by this, by the mistake I just did with ascent, descent confusion. So let's think about this. I have descent. So I do want Rector Flicker to be the front line on the second floor. And I do want Branded Warrior to be behind Rector Flicker, because he needs someone to protect him. That makes a lot of sense. And then I will put the Molten Encasement in front, so we do have at least some harvest going on very soon. And now we can put the Wickler's Baron on the top floor to descend later. We do want the Inflame, we also want the kill on the Disciple Foot Soldier, but first we need some extra damage, otherwise we can't really deal with these guys. And we still lack damage right now. Maybe it's time. Well, one drag definitely goes here. Actually, the one that's gonna burn out can die. I do want the damage from the other one, perhaps next turn. And let's jump block with the drag to get some health back. Yeah, that's gonna be more important than the little bit of damage it could provide. Let's use the drag in front so the train steward stays alive for longer. Event on the top floor is definitely going to happen. I do want the spikes on the Rector, even if it's just for this guy. We can also block some damage with the Votivary here. And then we went the top floor to get the kill here. And I guess we went this floor to get a kill here. And now we got a slay with our Horned Warrior, which will help us deal with the upcoming waves. This guy only deals 2 damage to our Pyre if we let him pass. I'm willing to do that to get a more powerful floor here. These units can go on the bottom floor, I guess. I don't want this guy to grow. So our Branded Warrior is now actually working. His attack is high enough that he actually manages to slay things, which means we will get a decent attack growth going on that middle floor. But we don't have a lot of time to actually scale here, but luckily we don't need any more scaling than what we already have. So now we are definitely looking for spell upgrades to upgrade the spreading spores. because it's also gonna be helpful for as our boss killing tool. Dark Deal is pretty good. Deranged Brute. Yeah, I can get behind the Deranged Brute, definitely. Capacity would allow us to set up faster without the help of Dripfall, but I think what we really want is draw. To draw into our spreading spores faster once we upgraded them. Which will help with boss kills. Do I want upgrades that urgently? This is a Merchant of Steel. We don't have spell upgrades here. Yeah, I think I need it now. I need the upgrades now. The cost reduction is always gonna be important. Consume removal, there's nothing to consume remove. I could get rid of one of these torches with the consume stone. And double stack is gonna be the other one. Then on top of that, we are gonna spend a lot of energy on spreading spores and things and units. So making the dripfall cost 0 would be nice. The Inflame as well. I think the Inflame is the better target. Just because we are playing Inflame every turn. But dripfall maybe not. And I will get another upgrade on a torch. Spend all my gold here. No, we have enough units now. And let's go all in with the harvest game plan. After all, this deck is built around that, basically. Number of units game plus 6 attack. This is a bit of a problem if we don't manage to get the early scaling, but I think we should get early scaling. We do have a lot of elements that will help us to deal with that. And our Rector Flicker is growing fast now. Bottom floor is capacity reduced, but that doesn't really matter. I do want to kill these Absolvers on the bottom floor whenever possible. So I will set up here on the bottom floor. Votivary won't have enough power to kill a Collector. So Drag goes on the top to deal with a possible Collector spawn there. Branded Warrior needs to go here. Weakless Baron in front of it. This is a bit of an issue now. Yeah, setting up on the bottom floor was a problem because I can't jump block for Rector and I need to jump block sometimes because he won't start growing right away. Maybe that was a big mistake. I don't think that will work out. But the early events were very exciting, so that's why I went for it. Bike Slay kills on a Branded Warrior. Yeah, that would be nice, but he's just not tanky enough for that. And the Deranged Brute actually only needs to come in later. I do want a unit in front of this guy. Tank the damage early on. And now we can get the Branded Warrior here, which is a lot more damage. And the Wickless Baron can be on the top. We can start working on these guys. Not a lot of damage we can do here, but... Okay, this will help a lot, because now these backliners will start dying to the spikes. And that will kill that guy, so we don't do that. We could do it on these guys. Actually, let's use our champion for that. I'm still gonna remove this guy so we get the harvest trigger immediately and take less damage. I think I am gonna take the... Nah. Let's just kill the guy. I was thinking about taking the Scorch intentionally just so I could get another Slay. Another Harvest, I mean. This guy needs to die. The Rage is gonna be quite a lot of damage on him. It's gonna be rough to descend anyone. It's just not enough damage right now. This guy needs to die. This guy can... I'm okay with him living. This guy will die to one hit in the pyre room at least. Yeah, now we do have the drip fall, but it's hard to justify here. I guess we can do it on the Wickless Baron. And I think we have to do it on the Wickless Baron, to be entirely honest. And this is 38 health. So we would need another chunk of damage on this guy, otherwise we will take 22 damage to the pyre, which is more than I'm willing to take. .48 damage. Then the Vent kills, but I'd rather use the Vent here. The Spreading Spores also kill. I love the Spreading Spores on the champ. Now it might actually be correct taking these Scorchers, because that's gonna be a lot of extra health for now and some damage on the Wickless Baron as well. That means I could use the Vent on the top floor. I think that's actually the way to go. And let's also block some damage here. This Votivary doesn't matter. I just as well play him on the top floor. And now I have the kill. When he slays Votivary on the top floor, he goes to the pyre next, so the Scourge wouldn't matter. But it was correct for the bottom floor, yeah. Correct not to play the Votivary on the bottom floor. I don't want any of these are all pretty bad. I mean, Wickless Blaze is a great card, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't work with this deck. Enflame, Tiresome Climb, Impish Scholar. Tiresome Climb is actually useful in this deck to get slays, harvests, sometimes, but it's not gonna be that good for us. I wouldn't mind another Enflame. Nah, it's not worth it. Not a 2 cost, and we would mostly use it for the Rage. We don't really benefit from the armor. We need to go to the left. We need the removals and we need the Merchant of Steel. Let's look at the Merchant first. Quick. Do we want quick on anyone? We don't really want quick on anyone. Health. What are these upgrades? I'm tempted to just reroll here. Quick is pretty useless to us. Yeah, let's reroll. multi-strike at least. Let's put that on a branded warrior. Give him more chances to slay. And another health and burnout upgrade, seriously? I guess the health on a branded warrior wouldn't be entirely useless, because we will face sweep enemies eventually. And his life is fairly low. I also want to start removing things. Train stewards first, because it takes the most space. Torch. Torch is also pretty bad. Yeah, let's also remove a torch instead of another train steward. Mark of Invasion. Sure. We do have the health to take the damage. And we do have a variety of ways to deal with these guys. And not just deal with them, maybe even benefit from them. Kind of like this. Getting the spikes on the Baron first was not ideal, but it does allow us to get a nice chunk of extra scaling right now. I will play the vent on this floor, but this guy needs inflame. The vent is a lot of health for the Rector Flicker, and it also gets us the collector kill. I could get the collector kill with the drag though, and then we will get the 2 rage triggers, which might be better than the health on Rector. This guy's gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna prevent some damage to my Baron. And do I even wanna kill the Silent Marksman? Yeah, these guys are pretty tanky. It's important that we get to hit the backline as much as we can. We already have enough damage here, so it's not necessary to descend the deranged brute to make the rage better. Instead, I'm gonna descend the Baron so he can start getting some harvest triggers. Currently these two kill the front line and the branded warrior kills the back line, which is basically the ideal already. Might as well consume this torch. I don't want to feed the overcharge tank, but I do want to get rid of these units, and we will have enough attack on the next floor to deal with an overcharge tank anyways. So I will actually feed the overcharge tank here. Now we have pretty solid scaling. Maybe I'm underestimating the Horned Warrior. If he goes off big time. Because after the first slay he just starts going crazy and... Well, maybe not the first slay, and he also kind of needs the multi-strike, so it is a lot of setup required for that to be ideal. And again, killing these guys on the bottom floor will actually deny me power on the top floor. On the middle floor, I mean. Because we will get all these harvest triggers. Yeah, with the brute it would be even more powerful. Bounty Stalker. I usually don't turn down a Bounty Stalker, but in this deck we don't have freeform. We basically have no synergy with the Bounty Stalker. I could take an engulfed in smoke, but I don't think it's really necessary. And it denies us a spikes effect. March of Shield, Branding Right, Pyre Chomper. The armor is not gonna be important, and the Pyre Chomper doesn't really serve a purpose in this deck either, so let's just skip that. Do I still require spell upgrades? Holdover on the Dripfall would be quite nice, would help us set up quicker. Other than that, not that much. But the right side is the better side anyways, because on the other side there's only Dupe. Forever Flame. I mean, setting up is not a big problem, but it's still decent. Scorched Steel is almost useless in this deck specifically. And we do get the holdover for the Driftfall, which I will take. Even though we will most of the times we will only play it twice. Unless we dupe something. That could always be the case. These small upgrades don't mean that much to me. I'm gonna reroll hoping for double stack. We didn't get it, but that's okay. Double stack on the Dark Deal is what I was aiming for. Sure, that's nice. Free Purge and a rare card. Now that the units cost 0, it's definitely the torches that have to go next. Hellhorned or Melting Remnant? We're definitely more Hellhorn focused. Rage is a big theme. There are quite a few good rare Hellhorn cards that help us with Rage. Like this one. Should probably have gone to the event first. Big Sludge. Yeah, Big Sludge would have been amazing. That's true. I didn't think of Big Sludge. That's not gonna be worth it. Let's just buy a cost reduction. Consumer removal doesn't matter. Once we play this card once, we will have enough power. We should have enough power. Scorchfell. So, if possible, set up on the bottom floor. Certainly looks like it's gonna be possible, but we can't really get through to these backlines. And Rector, the Range Brute, is not a great bottom floor. I really want the other unit. The Branded Warrior behind Rector. So we can start getting slays. A little bit short here. Drag can even be in the front, so it... Yep, I like that. These guys... If we draw into a torch we will be fine, but otherwise there's not really a good way to deal with these guys. But that's okay. These guys on the other hand, that's a much bigger problem, because now we will be very starved for draws with all these things in our deck. The big problem if you don't have strong early game damage against this boss. These guys will just die to the pyre, and deal no more damage to us, but they will add another Scorch to our deck. But probably best place to vent is this floor. This will get us Slays for our Wickless Baron, and it will make these backlines more accessible because the Alabaster Guardian will actually die. Yeah, and now we are screwed because we didn't deal with these guys fast enough, so we are actually not drawing the cards we need to draw. Now we can finally start scaling, but that's gonna be too late. We need the immediate burst damage here on the bottom floor. This is not gonna be great. This guy has already a lot of damage as well. I definitely want to torch and vent on the top floor. At least vent on the top floor. Torch this guy. Vent top floor. Yep. And now we die. Unless we can at least delay the dying thing one more turn. Actually multiple turns maybe. This is not gonna work out in the long run, but as long as we manage to kill Fel here, we will actually die to the penances. Even if we get enough damage here on the bottom floor, which we won't, we can play both penances out. I've never died to a penance before. Yeah, maybe setting up on the second floor and third floor was better. But yeah, I'm not sure it would have been enough. The main problem that our draw is gonna be demolished would still prevail. Yep, it was still an interesting run. That's definitely